Good afternoon. My name is Andrea. I am going to be presenting to you the webinar, How to Get Started with noCRM. I've launched a small survey in Zoom. The idea is to get to know you better, to understand where you're at in your project. How big is your sales team? What are you looking for? What are you looking to improve in your day-to-day sales journey? And I would like you to please answer it. And then this is our brief agenda for today. First, we're going to talk about who we are as a company. Then I'm going to be speaking about why you should choose a tool like noCRM. Then I'm going to conduct a demo of the tool itself, in which I will teach you how you can set up your account, how you can customize it, how you can create a lead, how you can manage the lead and the prospects, and how you can analyze your teams and your users' activity. Of course, at the end of this session, you're gonna have some time to ask some questions. And just so you know, I am recording this session, so you will be receiving a copy of the recording within an hour after we have finished our webinar. So first of all, who are we? We are SaaS company that created a software for lead management. The company's name is called You Don't Need a CRM. And the platform that we created to manage those leads and manage your sales process from start to finish is called noCRM. The platform was launched in 2014 already. Was launched in Paris, France. And we are a team of over 20 people who are fully remote and fully motivated. The platform is already in 6 languages, translated in 6 languages. We have over 12,000 sales reps and managers in over 80 countries. And we are a perfect tool for small and medium businesses between 1 and 30 salespeople. And of course, we are GDPR compliant. So what is this tool for? This tool is to help you improve your sales process. We understand that CRMs are not built for salespeople. We know that Excel has many limitations, and we understand that there's a fear of change. But of course, noCRM also understand that there's a good tool that enables salespeople to actually sell. And we comprehend these types of tools by having the platform noCRM focus on the sale and not on entering information. There's always a next action to complete every morning. And for the sales director and the CEO, it's easily for them to track activities and outcomes. They can build a stronger sales team, and they can centralize data and sales activities in one place. Now, why should you choose a tool like noCRM? Well, noCRM, as I mentioned before, simplifies the life of sales reps and managers alike. And basically, since the tool is very easy to use and sales focused, we can say that we have a higher adoption rate. Since there's always an next action to complete, which I mentioned before, we can say that we can help you increase your closing rates in up to 25%. And since we have a better overview tool for managers, and we can separate the management of cold prospects and qualified leads, we can say that it's a tool that almost, if not all of the people in your team will enjoy and actively use, which for me is the top priority when you're hiring one of these tools, of course. Now, there's a flexibility of SaaS, software as service, which means that you can cancel the tool at any point while using it. And we have support and a very complete help center in English. Now, when I mentioned that you can always plan your next activity, if you already have an account with us, you've probably seen the status loop. Basically, when I have a lead and to do, it means that I have an activity plan for today. As soon as I complete that activity, I set my lead to standby, and this will go on and on and on and on until I've actually won the lead. Now, for your ideal sales environment, noCRM already is able to connect with your email in one click. You can connect with your calendar as well. We enjoy of a mobile application that can help you scan business cards and work offline. And we have native integrations, which mean that you can connect noCRM to a myriad of different apps to help you improve the way that you conduct business, improve the activity that you're already using in noCRM. Now, if you need more applications beside the native integrations available at noCRM, you can connect with thousands of apps by checking the apps available, and you can make automatizations through Zapier and Make, which was formerly known as Integromat. Now, if you need to develop your own integration, of course, we have our own API. And with that documentation, you can develop your own integration with your internal information system. And if you want to check more integration options, please head to our admin panel and you'll be able to see all that information. Now, before I move on, I should mention that the idea of this webinar is to get you started with your free trial. If you don't have a trial already, you can create one. And in this webinar, you'll hopefully learn how to set up your account from start to bottom. You can choose your edition and start your subscription. Remember that we charge per user per month. We have 3 plans: the starter kit, the sales expert, and the dream team edition. In order to check the prices that qualify for your area, I would highly encourage you to go to the website wherever you are. You'll be able to see the prices in your currency, if it applies, or in your area specifically. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and switch the screen to start a demo here. I am running this demo on a Dream Team edition, which means that everything that's not available in the other 2 sections, I'll make sure to mention. And the first things first is that the system is divided into 3 main sections. The first section is the cold prospect section, which is a section in which you can handle all of the contacts that you haven't qualified yet. Once you qualify them, you will manage them as leads. Here, you'll be able to manage all of the sales activity until you have actually closed the sale, and in which case you will save all that information of the closed sales in the client section. And here in the 3-dot menu, you'll be able to see the dashboard, the statistics, and other tools that I'm going to be covering later in the presentation. Okay, so first things first, the pipeline. So the pipeline is the heart of noCRM. It's where I'm able to see all of the opportunities that I have to work with today, all of the opportunities that I have planned an activity in the future. As you can see, most of them are in blue, which means that they have an activity plan in the future. And the one in red means that I have an activity plan for today. I'm a little behind on this one, I'm not proud of, but you should always be on time with the activity that you've planned, and then you can immediately plan your next activity. This will go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth until you have actually won, lost, or canceled your deal. Okay. Now, as you can see here, I have many leads, and I actually prepared a lead for us to work with so that you can understand why we set up the account the way that we do. And right here, you can see that I have the status loop. I have an activity plan for the future. I'm going to plan a call. Then I have the step in which my lead is located within the pipeline. Since I have the Dream Team Edition, I have more than one pipeline available. You can set up as many pipelines as you need. Here to the right, you can set the amount you're looking to perceive from this sale, the probability of closing, as well as the estimated closing date, which I'm going to update since we're already in July. And here in the default sections, you can see all of the information that I need to capture from my lead each and every time. Of course, you can edit this at any moment, and I'm going to teach you where you can add or delete default fields as necessary. And in the comments section here, you'll be able to see all of the information of all of the activities that I've carried out with this specific lead since the creation. Of course, I have the Dream Team Edition. I've connected my email to noCRM. And as you can see here, I sent an email to my client. My client did open the email. Here I have the history of the creation of the lead so far. And then you can see the attachment sections in which you can add all of the documents and all of the information that you've shared with your lead over time. And up here, you can see the tags and the categories. Tags and categories help us filter information throughout the system and filter information in the statistics as well. Okay, now here you can see the owner of the lead. There's only one owner per lead. Is the person that is going to carry out all of the sales activities till you actually finish the sale. Here you're able to see the quick menu actions that you have available for you to work on with your lead. If you have any integrations with noCRM, of course, you can customize this menu to add the integration here. And as you can see here, I have the possibility to click to call if I had connected voice IP provider to noCRM, or just take a photo of this QR code and dial directly from my phone. If I had the expert or the starter edition, this would lead me to my email provider so that I could send an email to my client and also attach a copy from the email that I sent to the lead. The difference with the Dream Team Edition is that in the Dream Team Edition, I have the availability of tracking the email, of seeing whether the email was opened or not. And here we have the sales script, which I will mention further down my presentation. Now, I just want to quickly show you how you can set up your account. Is the most important step that you should follow whenever you're opening a trial account with noCRM. And we're going to start by setting up our sales process. So as I mentioned before, the pipeline is the heart of noCRM. Here is where you'll be able to see all of the activity that you're doing, that you have planned with your leads. Of course, I have the Dream Team Edition, so I have more than one pipeline, but I just wanted to show you how easy it is to move the steps from one step to the other, to delete a step, to switch the name of the step. Right here, I can add an extra step here. Then in the default fields, I'm gonna edit all of the information that I need to capture from my lead each and every time. Of course, if you have the expert or the Dream Team Edition, you have 4 of those little keys right here that will enable you to identify duplicates before you create them. And once you've set up that information here, you're gonna create the lead categories. And here you're gonna be able to create the tags of the type of work that you're handling right now with your lead. So for example, if you want to know the source, maybe the services that the lead is interested in, the products that the lead is interested in, if there are any upsell opportunities, the company size, all of the information that you want to be able to segment and filter throughout the platform, you can add as a category or a tag. Now for the sales activities here, you're going to be able to create all of the activities that you need your sales team to have. And you can create the outcomes, of course, as needed. Now, here in the sales goals, if you have the Dream Team Edition, you're able to create sales goals for your team or for specific users to keep them motivated in closing those sales. Now, of course, here in the account management, you have the information needed to add the users that you want to have in your account. You can create the teams as well, allocate users to those teams. Then you have the privacy and security settings. Here you can have the privacy mode of the account. If you want all of the information to be shared, if you want the information only to be available to some of the users in the account, you have the availability to do that by creating teams if you have the Dream Team Edition. And in the preference section, you're going to be able to set an account language, the currency, and the time zone. As well as in the interface, you're able to decide on banner color, company logo, if you want it to appear right here, all of the information that's mostly aesthetic for the account. Now, let's dive back into the sales process, and I want to show you what a prospecting list really looks like. Remember, these are Excel-like spreadsheets that hold information of contacts that you haven't qualified yet. So you can create a list from scratch, or you can upload an existing list, a CSV or Excel file, and it would basically look like this. I have prepared a list for us to work on. And what you can do right here is you can tell the system to filter only the rows that you haven't qualified yet. And if you have the expert of the Dream Team Edition, you have access to the prospect browser. And here you can go ahead and start registering activity as you see fit. Of course, here is my preferred phase of the sales process, in which you can qualify the prospect. You can enter information on qualification. You can create your own sales script, as I did here for an example for us. And I'm going to deem this prospect as a good fit. And I'm going to create it as a lead. Now, the system is alerting me that I have created already several leads with the same email or the same phone number. I'm going to go ahead and create the lead anyway. And I'm going to add the mandatory tags available. And as you can see, it created the lead for today. And if I go back to my classic pipeline, I'm going to be able to see my lead in the very first step of the pipeline to work with today. Okay. Now, if I connect every morning and check the things that I have to do today, my to-do list, I prefer to see the pipeline in the extended mode. Here I have a glimpse of all the activity that I've done with this lead before. If I had planned an activity for today, it would show up here. I, of course, can also use the compact mode to check information. You can do massive bulk activities from the compact mode pipeline. And in the pipeline mode here, you can see the classic pipeline with all of the steps of the pipeline as we usually do. But I'm going to go back to my classic pipeline and show you what happens when you close a sale. So I'm going to mark this deal as 1. I'm going to enter the amount that we received from the sale. And it's going to show up in my client section, in the warm lead section. And if I want to repeat business with this client with Amazon, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be duplicating this lead. And the system is going to warn me to create a client folder. And here I can create the duplicate, and I can even send it to a different pipeline. And if I want to check how much business I've created with Amazon, I can just go to their folder, and I'm going to be able to see how many leads I have won, how many leads I have actually active in the pipeline, and the amount that we have pending in the pipeline. I haven't set one yet. Now, we already know how to manage our prospects, our leads, and our clients. I just want to quickly show you some of the statistics that we have available, but before I do that, I want to remind you of ways in which you can create leads with noCRM. You can create leads with a new lead button. You can create leads from the prospect list, as I showed you before. You can create leads from an email, from a business card, or the lead clipper. And of course, you can import leads from CSV or Excel files. And you can connect your contact form that you have available on your website to noCRM, as well as create leads from different sources via Zapier or Integromat, that is creating an automation. Okay. Now let's go back to statistics here. I just want to show you a couple of them here. The analysis per prospecting list, which essentially shows you how many leads you're creating from prospecting lists, and from those prospects, how many are actually becoming business. Of course, you can export all of this information at any point. In the team's activity, you're going to be able to see how many activities you carry around. Let's see what happened last month. Of course, you can filter by more filters available, like pipeline, a user, or team. And you can see how many activities were done per user in that specific time range. And if we go to the company performance, of course, we can see the overall performance of this company. I'm going to go ahead and filter it by this year, but you can additionally filter it by this filters that you can see here. And I want to see exactly how much business I sold per tag of service that I offer. So I'm just going to go ahead and filter by category of services. And as you can see here, my bestseller throughout 2022 has been lead generation services so far, and SEO, I think. So number of leads and the amount one, SEO. Yes, there we are. And of course, you can export all of this information at any time. So we have finished our webinar. I see that there are no questions right now. There are no users watching this video, but I would like to thank you for taking the time of seeing this whole webinar. Once again, my name is Andrea, and if you have any other questions, you can contact us directly through support, or you can go to our help center. We have actually assembled a very good amount of articles that explain everything from setting up the account to the usage of the account.